I've been playing Dolmen. Ooh, can I shrink this?
God,
No,
he made a PowerPoint.
no, it's a Google Doc thingy.
The press made a
Same
PowerPoint.
thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. So Dolmen is you guys have heard of Elden Ring? Let me go full screen on this bad boy. That way you guys can.
Is this one of those Elden Rings?
Yeah, this is one of them Elden Rings, baby. I'll put us down here. So Dolmen is a Souls-like. It's a space-like game that, and I'll play the trailer here. Let's see. You guys see the trailer? You guys see the trailer?
Yeah.
All right. It's a Souls-like in space, which is actually kind of a cool idea because one of the issues I've had with Souls-likes is, again, it's always that dang medieval setting, and it's like, okay, how many times can I see a knight on a horse? Another guy on a horse. What they did with Dolmen is it's a Souls-like, but it's much heavier on, like, it's basically get to a big boss, fight the boss, learn some lore about the boss, get to the next boss.
Dark Souls.
Okay. Oh, hey, Playland is here. Yeah, it does. Dark Souls in space. But they throw in, and I'll show in a little bit, there's a lot of Dead Space and Mass Effect influence in this, in some of their systems. Dead Space from the kind of overall design of the game. Like, there's a lot of H.R. Geiger-ish stuff leaking out of walls. You're hopping across asteroids in some areas inside a ship. So it definitely kind of looks and feels like Dead Space in some areas.
Looks like Warframe.
It does have a little bit of Warframe in there too, yeah. But it has a little bit of the Mass Effect. Which Mass Effect that was much more action based was that?
2.
I think 2. It has much more Mass Effect 2 into it, into how you're kind of running around shooting at enemies and upgrading your skill trees, because there's a little bit of not really a skill tree, but there's definitely like the ability to upgrade and grind and that kind of stuff, which is pretty typical. So like, it's not a difficult game. The demo at PAX was way more difficult because I felt like I was on the spot and I had kind of going in blind. Playing it now I'm playing, this is the PS5 version I was playing, and I was playing in the higher performance, higher visual fidelity mode.
Pink. He's
pink. Pink. Actually worked out a lot better. So I'll kind of guide you here real quick. You have we talked about all the different kind of bars and settings and Deadcraft. These are much easier to understand. This blue one is your
yeah, we've all played Elden Ring, Dali.
Yeah, Elden Ring, all these kind of stuff.
Blue is your stamina, green is your health, red is your rage meter.
Red is your health, green is your stamina, blue is how to ban Zach. No, it's as you use your special stuff, obviously your blue bar changes, and if you end up using a heal, then your blue bar gets cut in half, and you have to utilize your tools down here to kind of expand it, and you get your health or experience points and your loot and all that kind of stuff. Very easy to understand. If you've played any Souls-like, if you played any kind of action game over the last few years, action RPG. But I really like the mobility because of where you're a lot closer up in this than you are in like an Elden Ring. In Elden Ring and some of the other action games, action RPGs, your character, the camera's like pulled back a little bit more, so you see more of the 3D character. You're up a little bit closer here, like you would be in Dead Space and Mass Effect. This is a shot of me. They have a ship. You can get into the ship, and when you rescue these dudes back there, you can find them in each of these little areas that you go to. They start populating your ship and getting you stuff. There's a bunch of them out there, but yeah, look, it's very Dead Spacey. But the game's like really easy to control. The triggers are the attacks and the blocking and the parry. It's not complex controls. Like I found Elden Ring, in a way, you're bouncing around a lot on the buttons. You have to kind of you have to multitask and really know where things are. They're a lot easier I feel like, to understand in Dolmen because they've pared back a lot of the stuff. This does feel like it feels like a studio's first steps on a Souls-like game, which is not a bad thing. It's just me saying they're going to the basics of what this genre is. They're putting it in space, and they're letting people just kind of have fun and roam around and not be hampered by difficulty. There's still challenge, but there's not like purposeful difficulty, right? And so I do like the design elements here. Again, it looks like a lot of H.R. Geiger stuff. As you're floating around, walking around these places, there I am taking photos of myself. And then there's a lot of these little set pieces where you walk into this hive. I forget the name of the enemy here. You'll find out in a second. I walk into the hive. This is the first boss. There it is. The Dementula. Demon.
Well, that's from Zelda.
Yeah. That's a sculpture. No, so it's a big giant ass spider queen that you're taking down, right? So you take on a spider queen. I got wrecked when I first faced off against her, and I thought, oh great, this kind of sucks. It's too difficult. And I thought, you know what? Let me take some of my Elden Ring know-how, because I consider myself an expert now. Not at all. And let me grind a little bit, which is what you're supposed to do in RPGs. So I went back, did a little bit of grinding. This is, you can grind and increase your personal stats, and you can also craft weapons with more powerful stats that you're finding from some loot. And it's very simplified crafting. It's like, here's what's that?
I don't like it.
I like it because it's not overkill. It's like, pick your weapon. All right, you got enough things here. Yeah, you got enough of the pieces here. You need 2 of these and 2 of those, and then grab the bonus, the modifiers, which is like this is the rare. This is the pyro metal, which gives you a little bit extra attack speed. It gives you this. So it's really sort of this basic look at crafting and upgrading your skill sets. And I find that to be really good for someone like me who isn't in love with. I've always talked about saying a Souls-like, a FromSoft game. I'm gonna try it this time, and I'm not gonna like. And it's been the way every time. Even Elden Ring, as much as I like putzing around and walking around in Elden Ring and just doing random stuff, it still hasn't gotten its hooks into me. This game has its hooks in me a little bit more because it is sort of scaled back a bit. Like it really is more about there's a little bit of a story, but we really want you to just kind of run around and do action video game type stuff. Anyways, I upgraded myself. You can see I upgraded my energy bar, my health, my stamina, my weapons. And I think I was up to level let's see, I took her on initially at level 4, and then and that's when I got clobbered, and I came back and whipped her at like level 25 after just really quickly grinding a little bit, about an hour and a half of grinding at most, and clobbered her. And it was really cool. It was just a really nice action. It's, again, not going to win any crazy awards, not going to win the best Souls-like of the year. Elden Ring's out there. But for someone who is interested in space games like I am, I love the aesthetic. I really enjoy the idea of Dolmen. Is that Dolmen is sort of this element that can allow interdimensional and time-based effects. And so when you die, your timeline gets reset and you get sucked back into where you were. And that's kind of their explanation of the whole reset system in these kinds of games. And so, yeah, really digging it. There we go. Some more. This is actually a couple images. You can see some of the cool H.R. Geiger, like what I mean by that is alien style stuff of design elements. Like the whole first area is this, you're almost like this inside this living hive, this infested building, very Dead Space like. And you got some kind of cool color and shading. It's not going to completely blow your socks off because they announced the game and then it was out a few months later. I think they announced it back in like August or something at Gamescom, and then it's out now. I played it at PAX East. I enjoyed it at PAX East, and I'm actually really liking it here on console. And I think if you're the kind of person who is a little overwhelmed by Elden Ring and kind of Dark Souls in general, this is probably going to be more up your alley. Like if you're, again, getting a little tired of the sword and shield and sorcery, space is the place that you might like. So that's Dolmen. I'm digging it. It's, again, not difficult, but still challenging because the boss fights are cool. The traversal, there's a lot of ways to get around areas. They did a really good job of verticality in these places. in the sort of the maps and stuff. So yeah, I'm really digging it. I think it's something that people might actually get a kick out of. Dolmen, enjoy.